Well, what's up, guys? This is Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and I've got a really cool project. I hope you guys are interested in it. It's just one of those things that takes me back to my past. This is like family history in a way. But before we get to it, let me show you something else. So you guys know my wife has been talking about taking over and doing our own merchandise, and you know, in the last couple months we where's it at? Right there. Converted the barn into a shop, put electricity and all the concrete and all that stuff in there, thinking that'd be a great place for my wife to put all of her stuff to do our merchandise. Nice big fancy shop. Well, she didn't want to do that. She wanted to use the old garage. So I've been cleaning out the garage. We just recently put sheetrock, put a ceiling in here, and it's still a mess. It's a garage. It's a almost 40-year-old building. It's kind of a mess, but we are redoing this. This is going to be our merchandise headquarters, I guess you could say. We're going to obviously still got a lot of stuff to take out of here, but we're going to build some different benches and some shelves and things, place for her to put heat press and all the stuff to do our own merchandise. But in the process of cleaning all of this out, the garage was cram packed full of stuff, as are most garages, but I came upon a relic from my past. And this thing, it's been in my family a long time. I really don't know how long, but a long time. So let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. So this old steel table I've had in the garage for several years, and I've always just used it for a welding table. This thing's sit out on our property and just not being used for probably 15 or 20 years. But as you can see, it's not originally a welding table. It's actually an old 2-burner propane fish cooker. See the burners down in there? Which it's been out of commission for most of my life. So today's project, I think, is going to be redoing this thing. But let me tell you a little bit of the history first. So you guys know on our channel we do a lot of fish catch, clean, and cook videos. We cook a lot of fish. We fry a lot of fish. And I love fish. But fish fries are kind of a family tradition that have kind of gone by the wayside. But years and years ago, my grandpa was kind of known for his, I guess you'd call them, community fish fries. He would catch fish all year long and hold these massive fish fries in his yard. And I'm really too young to remember. I've seen a lot of pictures. I've got albums of pictures and newspaper articles and all kinds of stuff of my grandpa's big fish fries. And that table, I'm fairly certain, was something that he and my dad and probably a couple other guys built. Wait till you see what they actually cook the fish in. I've still got those too. I'll pull those out in a little bit. You're not going to believe what they used to fry fish in. But I mean, I've got pictures and pictures and pictures of these huge fish fries. And this newspaper article clipping that I found in one of those albums, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on. I don't know how many people he fed, but it was a lot. And he would do it a couple times a year. And so that little fish frying table is kind of a family relic that I want to restore and bring back to use. And obviously we're going to try to take those, we're going to cut those burners out, put some new burners on it. Those things haven't been used in 30 years probably, because it's probably 30 years. And so I'm going to redo that, probably give it a little rattle can paint job, paint it black. But yeah, it's just one of those things, you know, you've come across these things in your life that just remind you of your childhood or remind you of your past. And you know, that little frying table, I could go to Academy or Bass Pro or Cabela's, and I've looked at double fryers that are much smaller than that, and you could set up and have a couple different fry pans going for fish and hush puppies and french fries and all that stuff. And I thought about buying one, but then there's just something, I don't know, part of me wants to redo this old one and bring it back to life. So I'm gonna get it pulled out, cleaned up, and start cutting those old burners off and see if we can get her back in service. telling you what, whoever built this used some absolute monstrous propane burners. Now, there are two different ones, and you know, I may regret taking these off. They could probably be salvaged and still used, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and just replace them just because they're so old. Now, the way they had this set up, you could see that long tube. They had these burners probably 8-9 inches away from the cooktop surface, but look at the size of the propane burners they were using. So the ones that I bought to replace them were the highest BTU I could find. I mean, they're a good size burner that I just bought these at Academy. I bought 2 of them. And it does not say how many BTUs it is on the box. I had to look it up online. I don't know why. You'd think they would include that on there. But here's one of the original old burners that they used, and then here's what I'm putting on there. So significantly smaller. I'm gonna hook these up real quick and just test it out and see how far away from the flame, or how far below the cook surface the flame needs to be, so I'll know where to mount these. Now, what I'm gonna end up having to do, probably, I'm thinking, is this has already got a notch started where that other burner was inset in there, but I'm not gonna set it up so that it's this far away from the cook surface, I don't imagine. So I'll probably have to bring this notch up on higher and then mount that burner in there, so then when it's inside here, it's not, you know, 8 or 10 inches away. There's the concept. It's just kind of sitting there. We don't have it tacked in place or anything. But now the burner is sitting there probably, I would say 3 inches below the cook surface. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and hook it up, put the hose and the propane bottle on, and just test it out and see if we need to raise it up higher or if it's good where it's at. Hey, we got a flame. Doesn't seem like it's showing up on camera very well, but we definitely have a flame. Get too close, I'm gonna singe my microphone fluffy. But the flame is just almost touching those bars that go across there, so I don't want to go too high. We're not trying to overheat the metal. But I think I'm gonna go get me a little pot of water and do a test burn just to see how long it takes to boil a pot of water. Alright, that's definitely a rolling boil now, and we are at 5 minutes, 43 seconds. So that's not like record time. I mean, that's a pretty good size saucepan of water. It's not small, probably, I'm gonna guess 5 or 6 cups of water. So I think what I'm gonna do though is, since I cut these so that burner would fit up in there, I'll show you on this one. I think what I might do, instead of just coming straight up and tack welding those on right there, I may cut over just a little ways, and that'll allow that burner to have something to set on. And then these are cast iron, so I'm just gonna tack weld them in there. I don't think it'll be a problem at all, but if I cut a notch and bring that burner, have a little ledge to sit on, it'll be a little more secure in there. And having both of those burners to where they kind of turn inside a little ways will make it probably a little bit more easy for my hoses and everything to get where I want them to be. So all this stuff is pretty simple. I mean, this is just a basic little splitter kit that I bought at Academy. I bought this at Academy, and then I bought those 2 burners also at Academy Sports. So pretty simple little retrofit. I'm gonna go ahead and cut those 2 extra notches And I'm probably going to give this thing a good bath, clean it up a little bit before we tack weld those burners in there. Well, my cooker's good and clean. It's drying out now. And as soon as it gets nice and dry, we're gonna give it the Oklahoma Special, the rattle can paint job. So I just so happen to have 2 cans of flat black, high heat Rust-Oleum paint laying around. Because you never know when you're gonna need it. And it seems like it's gonna be perfect for this. So we're gonna give it a little flat black finish, and then we'll get our burners set in there, and it'll be just about ready to go. I can't wait to fry some fish up on this thing. Now wait for the rattle. Both burners are set in place, almost exactly where we wanted them. I mean, it's not perfectly centered in there, but it'll be close enough. We're not perfectionists here, but now let's get a little touch up on the paint, and then we'll hook our propane up and see if Bella approves. Bella, are you going to approve of this work? And there's the finished project. Got the bottle hooked up, got both control valves on here. Pretty simple little thing. I mean, I was wondering how I was gonna do this at first, and I just went to Academy and bam, they had exactly what I needed to put 2 burners on 1 propane cylinder. And yeah, works perfect. We're gonna test them out. I say it works perfect. We need to fire them both up and test them both again, just to make sure. But I'm telling you what, that is a little project that is sure gonna make me feel good. Have that little warm and fuzzy feeling down inside. So I think I may want to do some more with this. This is probably, well, I know, I'm just gonna tell you, this is gonna go on the patio, and it's not the prettiest thing. So we may have some more work to add on to it in the future. But for now, we're gonna leave it just like it is, test it out, get some use out of it. We're actually gonna be having a fish fry really soon. Probably, actually, the day you're watching this. This is going to be posted on probably Saturday, so we've got a special fish fry planned for Saturday. So we're going to get to test it out and see how it works. But this is just one of those little projects that I've wanted to do for a long time. Literally, you know, taking me an hour and a half maybe. But that little cooker right there, there's no telling how many hundreds of people that thing has fed over the years, and it's just been sitting next to a scrap iron pile here on my property for probably at least 20 years. I don't know I don't know all the history, but I do know that I believe I know it was made by my grandpa. It could have been somebody else, but I've got one more thing I want to show you guys before we go set it on the patio. And that, I told you earlier in the video, what they used to cook. I was going to show you what they used to cook the fish in when they built this thing. You're not going to believe this. This is some Oklahoma stuff and some engineering. I probably won't be using these in the future because they've been used on my property most of my life as water troughs for livestock. You've probably seen them and didn't realize it, but let me go grab them and show you what I'm talking about. How about that? Do you know what these are? So let me give you a clue what this is. How about now? I bet everybody knows what it is now, or what it at least used to be. Doesn't quite work that way anymore, but so it's an old beer keg, and they I'm not sure who made this, honestly. I really don't, but they did a good job making it. Now, like I said, these two halves have been used for animal waterers here for pretty much my whole life. Some of you would say that's a long time, some of you say that's like a week, but you know, I'm 36, so they've been used for animal waters for as long as I could remember. So they welded everything up, closed everything up, and made 2 fish cookers. And if you look at it, the way they built that and that concave bottom, I'm sure, I don't remember them using this now, honestly, I really don't, but I'm sure it worked perfect as holding in all the heat and stuff. Maybe someday we could get those restored. And I don't really want to eat out of them right now. They're pretty nasty. And not to mention, could you imagine how much oil it would take? But if you were feeding fish to, say, 100 people, I mean, you're going to go through a lot of fish and a lot of oil. Now, that's a lot more oil than what we need for our family. But, I mean, is that not cool? Look at that. There's no telling how old this is. And there's no telling how many people that setup right there is fed. And how many hundreds of pounds of fish has been fried in there. But could you imagine some of you southern Cajuns that like to boil crawfish? Think about it. I think it'd be awesome. I knew that Kubota tractor would come in handy for something one of these days, and today was the day. So there she sits, restored to her full glory. Probably going to stay here on the patio. Like I said, we may do some things, add on to this. We've got the patio set up. You can't see it now because of all the plants, but we do have water and a drain that we could set up a sink out here. So we may add on to it one of these days, put a sink, put something on the front to kind of pretty it up a little bit. But let's test it out one last time just to make sure everything's still working after the move and everything. Like I said, we're not going to be using these to fry fish. I may boil some water in them just to get them cleaned up, but we're not going to use the kegs to fry fish. That's a little bit overkill for us right now. Working like a champ. Got both burners fired up. Good blue flame. You can kind of see it now that we're not in the sunlight. Yeah. So if you can't tell, I'm really excited to get to use this thing. We're going to be frying a lot of fish on it, probably for years and years and years to come. I mean, this thing is built out of solid steel. It probably weighs 150 plus pounds. It's not like something you can go to a sporting goods store and buy nowadays that might fall over when the wind blows. This thing is not going anywhere. And to top it off, it's kind of just a piece of family history. Like I said, I don't know all the details. I don't know all the history, but I do know that my grandpa was well known in our area for these huge community fish fries. And I believe that's where this came from. Not sure about the 2 half kegs there, but either way, I've got tons of pictures and some memories of those fish fries of the past. But that's just something about getting a bunch of people together and just cooking a really good meal out here on the patio. It's just so much fun, and I absolutely love it. Hey, where'd you come from?
Did you just get done burning this?
I lit a piece of paper on fire to light that up. So, you have any idea what I've been working on all day?
Yes,
What is
fish
it?
cooker.
That's right. We're gonna cook lots of fish. Hey, I see lots of catch, clean, and cook videos.
Hey, but we got a surprise for Dusty Baker on Saturday. So, I hope Dusty's not watching this video, but this is since he's having his birthday, we're doing a fish fry for his birthday.
That's right. So hopefully he watches this video after we have the fish fry for his birthday party, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows we're having a fish fry for his birthday.
I don't think he knows.
That's what your
that.
mom said.
She didn't say for his birthday. She said
so he knows he's coming here Saturday for a fish fry.
Just for a fish fry.
All right, well.
He knows.
So there's the finished project. I am excited. Can't wait to try it out. Sorry we're not going to be cooking any fish today, but that's all right. We've got plenty of time
Is this what we
to cook fish.
Use?
No, that's not what I'm going to be cooking fish in.
Okay,
but that's what
I ain't eating it out of it.
That's what those were built for originally. So, hey, since you decided to join me at the last minute in this video, do you want to wrap it up for me?
It's the last part of the video?
Yeah, I've been out here working all day
That's so
while you were at school.
Oh, wow. So, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. And as always, we'll see you on the next video. Peace.